Workers in the video games industry have formed a union for the first time in the UK.
Here's a summary of the article.
Excessive and unpaid overtime, precarious contracts and discrimination are all serious problems in the industry, according to the Games Workers Union, which launched on Friday. For as long as I can remember, it has been considered normal for games workers to endure 0-hours contracts, excessive unpaid overtime, and even sexism and homophobia as the necessary price to pay for the privilege of working in the industry, he said. In a 2016 survey by the International Games Developers Association, 51% of game developers said the job involved crunch time, and a further 44% reported working long or extended hours. Kaan Bianco, a general programmer and GWU UK spokesperson, told Sky News that when he started in the industry he would work around 80 hours a week, much of which was unpaid. GWU UK is part of the Global Games Workers Union, but in the UK it is a branch of Independent Workers of Great Britain, a union that's made waves unionising gig economy workforces like Uber drivers or cycle couriers. Some games workers share much in common with these precariously employed groups. More from UK. According to the IGDA, 27% of employed developers had worked for 3 to 5 employers in the last 5 years, a figure that indicates serious volatility in the industry.
This post received a score of 22,878, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Work as a game designer. Boss told us, the employees. If my employees ever even think of unionizing, I'm shutting the studio down.
We should happen sooner, but this is really good.
If it holds up. There was a similar attempt to unionize VFX artists in the UK and it failed pretty badly. Not enough people joined and the market was so saturated with workers willing to sign independent contracts that it died. Game development has a similar problem, millions of people dying to work in the industry that they'd do whatever it took to achieve that. Even if it meant undermining union efforts.
Millions of uneducated to the real-world, working word and their rights and frequently gullible young kids who will do anything to do it too. It's why game testing, which requires software development knowledge, makes no more than $10 an hour in some parts of the USA. The highest I know is 15, and that's because city-mandated min wage. And they demand you work weekends and overtime all the time.
And that is why I kept gaming as a hobby and not a job. Make more money in IT for less work.
Gamers rise up.
This article tells us a lot about our society. For instance, that we live in one.
From what I've gathered, I think it's safe to say that yep, it's gamer time.
For those of you who do any kind of work in the game field, feel free to reach out and connect with us. We exist to help you.
I left the games industry a few years ago. My pay almost doubled and my working hours are half of what they used to be. I wasn't directly affected by the other negative aspects of the office like sexism, but it definitely existed in one of my old jobs. I hope this sticks and the whole industry unionizes. You need it. You deserve better.
Thank you. We are working hard to get organized across the whole of the industry. It is going to be a hard fight, but it ultimately is the only and most important fight. Many of my friends have seen the sexism and racism as well, including some pretty horrible harassment at the hands of Gamergators. I'm glad you are doing better now. If you ever want to help us organize or get us in contact with the people from your old work, feel free to reach out through the website.
The problem with unionizing this field is that the programmers could switch to another industry and make at least as much money with shorter hours anytime they want, and there will be younger programmers happy to take their place. The senior developers who stay in the industry are making significantly more than $100K a year. Project managers and other more business-oriented roles also have options similar to programmers. Expanding their unions into gaming industry would be more effective.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by SMMRY.com, without any human intervention.